So this story alone really sums up American healthcare. This is American healthcare summed up in a single tweet. It says so much. This is from a New York Times reporter, and she says, a lab in Texas had charged as much as $2,315 for coronavirus tests. After I called to ask about their prices, they lowered their charge to $300 and reversed all claims billed at the $2,000 rate. All right, so let me tell you some more. Patients in the short run are somewhat protected from this because the coronavirus testing bills, as of right now, the federal government says, we set aside $1 billion, we're going to pick up the tab for uninsured people who get the test, and for insured people, federal laws require that every health plan now covers the full costs of coronavirus testing without a deductible and without a copayment. So, that's all good, but don't get too crazy here giving credit to the system because it's only testing. It's not treatment that's covered. So they say, well, obviously the testing should be free. Obviously. Well, why shouldn't the treatment be free then? Even more so, the treatment should be free, if you ask me. So you test, you find out you have it. Okay, it's on us. It's free that you know you have it. But you're on your own for the actual treatment. What? So that's insane. But at least people are covered for the treatment at the moment. So this is an instance, usually when we cover healthcare stories, we're covering how insurance companies are ripping people off, pharmaceutical companies are ripping people off. This is not an instance of that. This is actually an instance of a diagnostics lab in suburban Dallas ripping off insurance companies. So the whole system, it's just one scam after another scam after another scam after another scam. Our entire healthcare system is nothing but one giant scam. Everybody's scamming each other. And the person who ends up getting screwed every single time, not every single time, as a general rule, except in this story, is the patient, is the person, is the average American. It's the companies that are, robbing everybody. And again, this is an instance of a diagnostics lab robbing the insurance companies and saying, oh yeah, so this coronavirus test that we're giving out to people, we're going to bill insurance companies $2,315 for the... Why are you billing them that much money? Well, my guess is they thought they could get away with price gouging. They thought they could get away with robbing the insurance companies. They thought nobody would notice. And then all it took, and by the way, massive credit to this journalist actually doing good work. All it took was one journalist reaching out and saying, hey, what's up with this? $2,315 for coronavirus tests. I don't understand that at all. Where are you getting that number from? Can you explain to me how you came to that number? Can you show me the procedure? Can you show me the process? Can you show me how much it costs you? Can you show me, why you're billing this much to the health insurance companies? I don't understand. And then immediately when they got caught, they were like, see what I see with the thing with the, if you look at with the sun, if the sun's in your eyes and you can't really make out the number, if you carry the 7 and divide by 6, what you're going to find out is that with the decimal point moving, eventually what had happened was there was the mistake in billing, and it's got to be Jerry's new. Jerry's new. He's in billing. He's been working in billing. And so really when we said $2,315 for the test, he meant to say 300. He meant to say 300, okay? It's a 300. Get off my butt. All right? We're good now? Please don't, get me in trouble for price gouging in the middle of a crisis. So this is what's going on, man. And, again, this is a rare story of actually the health insurance company getting robbed, but the insurance companies rob everybody under the sun. Are you kidding me? With the way our system works. Our entire healthcare system is a scam. And they point out in this article, and again, credit to the New York Times for this, but they point out in the article, there's one reason why people are allowed to get away with this at the moment. And it's because there are no price regulations. There are no price regulations. Now, this is where conservatives go, oh, well, that sounds like socialism. Call it whatever the hell you want to call it. Obviously, we need it, or else you get situations like this where everybody's scamming everybody. Listen, there are certain things, I can't believe I have to explain this. It's like I'm talking to a child. There are certain situations where it makes no sense for it to be in the private marketplace. Listen, I'm not one of those people who says, there's no use ever for the private marketplace ever. No. Of course there are. Consumer goods, it's been proven throughout history, consumer goods are so much better when they're in the private marketplace. You know, look at the cars that came out of the Soviet Union. They were ridiculous. They were a mess. There was no competition to get a better product at a lower price. In some ways, competition's good. You know, when you're talking about making couches, making video games, making shoes, making consumer goods, yes, of course, that's something that should be in the private marketplace. But some things, you don't want the fire department to be for profit and in the private marketplace. You do not want that. I guarantee you do not want that. What happens if your neighbor doesn't pay their frickin' private fire department bill and then their house burns down and they got to sit around and say, well, he didn't pay his bill, and then their house catches your house on fire? You don't want that. When it comes to healthcare, you do not want health insurance, healthcare, none of that should be in the private for-profit marketplace. Because, listen, there is a perverse incentive structure, especially when it comes to the health insurance companies. You pay them your premium every month, and then when you need their help, what's the best thing for them to do? Well, they're going to make more money the more they deny you care. So they're going to try to find a way to deny you care and say, oh, you know, I was looking at your application and you put your middle initial, but you needed to put your full middle name. And then therefore, as a result, we got to deny the claim because there's something wrong with the paperwork. So what am I supposed to do, man? I'm just telling you what the rules are and you didn't follow along with it, because they have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders to make as much profit as humanly possible. And the way you make profit is to deny as much care as possible. What happens if you're an insurance company and it just so happens that in this particular month, so many people got sick and you had to pay out on so many claims? Well, guess what? Maybe you don't make a profit that quarter or whatever, that month. Okay. I mean, most people would say, do your damn job and give people the healthcare that they need. Pay for it. But they would try to find ways to wiggle out of paying for it. The dynamic, the incentive structure is all messed up. And I don't know how else to describe it to people, how bad the system is. When you see a situation like this where even diagnostics labs are now robbing from health insurance companies, and health insurance companies are stealing from you, and big pharma's stealing from everybody. It's the wild, wild west. This system is as bad as it gets, okay? And again, you could look at any metric you want to look at comparing us to the rest of the developed world. It's amazing. There was a video that went viral about maybe like a year ago. We covered it on this show. It was telling people in the UK how much standard American healthcare procedures cost. Like, hey, how much you think it costs to deliver a baby? How much do you think it costs to get your appendix taken out? How much do you think? It's just random, medical things. Every single time without fail, they were like, shut up. Are you serious? How much does it cost for an ambulance to show up and take you to the hospital? People are like, that's got to be free, right? They're like, okay. Our system, our healthcare system, is a scam on top of a scam within a scam. That's how I describe it.